Let's look at question number 7. Find all months in 2012 for which the actual sales was at least 200% more than the budgeted sales and the budgeted sales was at least 100. So here we are looking at the total sales, actual sales and total budgeted sales for each month in the year 2012. And you have to pick the months where the actual sales is greater than 200% of the budgeted sales. So there is no query within a query here. The thing is, when you actually do the query, we might get none of the months. None of the months has actual sales 200% more. But let's say we'll change it to say 5% more and see which one comes up. So here we know clearly we want the month, the total budgeted sales, the total actual sales. We need a condition where the budgeted sales for each month is greater than 100. The year to be 2012. Let's go ahead and try to create a query design. We know everything is going to come from the fact coffee ad. Now we have to extract the month. The date, if you look at the date, it is 4/1/2022. It has month and date. So obviously we need to somehow extract it out, the month. So let's say there is a function called month. There's also a function called month name. So let's look at how do we do. Let's try to get just the month from date. So month is within parentheses and date is in brackets just to say it's an attribute. If I just run this, it shows up the month number. But you can always sort the month number, but if you sort the actual month name, then April might come first. Right? We want the January to come first, so it's good to have the month in number. So let's see here, there is another function called month name. So the month name of that month that we extracted from here. So what I'll do here is, I'll take the month name and then type in again month, date. So basically it's a function within a function. So you have function month, it extracts the month number and the month name converts into the actual month name. So let's run this to see if it works. It works. So if you go back and say sort here ascending, then obviously you get 1 1 1 because it repeats. We'll see how to eliminate all the repetition here. So design view, back again. So we are interested in the budgeted sales, the actual sales, and we have a condition that the date. So you remember we did the date part, which means you're going to extract the year from date. So date part, we did that in the previous query, year and date, and you want this to be 2012. You also want the budgeted sales to be greater than 100. But we need the sum of the budgeted sales and sum of the sales, so we're going to use total. It's grouping by, instead of group by, it is sum of the budgeted sales. And this is sum of the total sales. You don't really care about this 2012, you're not grouping by that. So we'll just say where. And likewise, budgeted sales with the condition is also where. You don't want to show this. You only want to show the first 4 columns. So this one picks up the year for 2012, and this one only picks up where the budgeted sales for each month is greater than 100. Let's see if it runs. If it runs, we now get 12 months and the sum of the budgeted sales and sum of the actual sales. But we are still missing one condition. The condition is this particular sale that you have, sum of the sale, should be 2 times greater than the budgeted sales. So let's see here, criteria greater than 2 times sum of budgeted sales. Remember, whenever you have any attribute with two words like budgeted sales, it has to be within brackets. 2 times sum of budgeted sales. Now you have put that condition. Let's see if it runs. So you got no answer saying that all the months, none of the months actually satisfy this condition. Let's go back and just say instead of 200%, let's say greater than 5%. That is greater than 1.05. So 5 times 5% more than the budgeted sales. And let's run it now. We find January, February, March, April, May, November, and December. So we get 7 months. So likewise, we can go and say instead of 5%, 10%. Let's run this query again. Again, none of them is above 10% here. So probably it picks up something if it is 5%. Maybe let's see 8%. None of them is above 8% either. How about 6%? Even 6% you don't get. So if it is 5%, we get several months. So that's the way you have to think about solving. When you don't know how to do certain things, search for certain functions to extract like month or year or to compute something. Try to find a function and use it within your query.